Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
You don't.
What a load of crap.
Performing the duties of his office.
Digby C. Caesar.
No.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I am Digby, and today we are back in Star Trek Resurgence. Now, we have finally made it to Hotari, although we can't actually leave, because there's something weird going on in space outside the planet that sort of negates the warp drive or whatnot. So we are kind of trapped here, but that's fine. We are about to go meet the Queen, and we are hopefully going to start the negotiations for peace between the Hotari and whoever the bunch of blue asshats were that they're, like, cranky with. But yeah, I mean, we can only do our best, right? So if you guys are ready, let's go say hello to Her Majesty the Queen. Tell you what, I think we should show deference. We're supposed to chat with the locals, not annoy the lady in charge.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Elydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
Yeah, fish dude. Chill.
His point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
Saying this wouldn't be easy was an understatement. I thought they wanted us here.
Dude, how about just not now?
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Well, crap.
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Okay, big choice coming. Hold that thought.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Elydians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet!
You're wrecked, fish.
If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Wow, nothing like starting with a moral dilemma. Well, overall, it's always better to be peaceful, so I would go for the peace.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered, and I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor.
Oh, well put.
So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
Well, here's the thing, lady. You've got a ton of dilithium, but not the only dilithium in the universe. You know what? It's not a factor.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other. But that's just my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Elidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Elidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
Uh-oh.
So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Elidians?
Oh crap, we're going there.
Can only be one or the other, not both.
Well, I mean, the Elidians went for the whole greater good thing, but they kind of treated you like crap, so Hotari?
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
Thank you, Spock. I didn't like being on the hot seat just then.
I suppose there is some sense to that.
I would have definitely gone with the, well, let's just chat about it option and then decide, you know, as my first choice.
I hope we meet again, Jara Rydek.
Hopefully next time we meet, we're just having a couple of beers and you're not trying to get me to start a war or anything, lady.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Ooh, I get to go hang out with the tall lady. That'll be fun. Okay, speak with the members of each faction, which means they want me to talk to, well, basically the tall lady and the fish. So we've got... Alright, we've got the miner guys. We've got a fountain. I'll go check that out in a second. We got the fish dudes. Got the tall lady. What about you, my friend? Can I just chat with you? Alright, he's not an option, I suppose. Let's go check out the fountain here really quick, see what's going on with that.
Soothing.
Okay, well, it does kind of feel like now was not really the time. So, miner guys, what do you got going on?
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
I mean, technically I'm not on either side, dude, so I'm just gonna stay neutral.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I will keep that in mind.
Alright, well, we annoyed him.
I assume you were there, the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there.
Hence your
We had
title,
to be
Hero of the
decisive,
Revolution?
before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Weren't you afraid that they were gonna, like, poke you back?
I'm curious why the Elydians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing, courage is another. The Elydians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Elydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
Technically it's a science vessel, dude.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Love that dude's voice. He sounds like Optimus Prime on Saturday mornings. Alright, let's go chat with the fish people, see what they've got to say.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Elydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
Oh, dude, I'm fully aware. I told you, I'm remaining neutral. Unfortunately, I was not given that choice.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Sarlet Arminta, Special Attaché, Elydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Okay, I kind of want to know what happened, but I'm just going to point out that he sounds a little bit skeptical, and hopefully he'll tell me.
You sound skeptical.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
Okay, so that's a little bit paradoxical. I'm not going to say it's... well, I mean, it kind of is impossible. You know what? Yeah, we'll go with that one, I guess.
The energy readings we've seen are off the charts. There's no way they'd be able to somehow harness it. That sort of technology doesn't even exist.
I know. I felt the same way. But each person told the same story. If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydek.
Okay, so we've had the miner's perspective, we've had the fish dude's perspective. All we need now is the tall lady.
Commander, if I could have a quick word with you.
Of course.
I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
Well, you know what? You can thank Spock for that one.
If anyone deserves thanks, it's Ambassador Spock. No one is more invested in negotiating a peaceful settlement to this conflict than he is.
I'm so glad. We need his help before the situation escalates further than it already has. It's been very trying. I saw you speaking with the Illydian. I'm sure they're painting themselves as the victims.
The Illydians are under the impression the Hotari are somehow the cause of the ion storm.
Which I'm sure they attribute to our lack of experience or sheer inferiority. But we are as much the victims of this horrific storm as they are.
Yeah, they are a bunch of condescending gits.
For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
And I am kind of curious, are they against peace?
I take it they're against a negotiated peace with the Illydians.
Heroes tend to want more of what made them heroic. If it were up to them, they'd wage all-out war and bring ruin upon us all.
Tall lady is wise lady.
My fear has been that the Illydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid.
I was actually just thinking that.
Just don't know what they're afraid of.
I was also just wondering that.
Still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna guess it's actually the storm or something to do with it anyway.
Do you think it has something to do with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Illydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference.
Okay, so basically once the storm's over, the war's gonna start if we don't sort it out.
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
Ooh, we've got palace
Made
intrigues.
inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Okay, so they found something in the mine and that's what enabled them to take it over. And you know what? What is it? Do you know?
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I was actually gonna guess they found a weapon.
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Lady, take a picture. It's fine.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Okay, that's exactly what I just told her to do.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Alright, yeah, I'm guessing they found some kind of weapon, and that's what enabled them to take over the mines. Which is actually fine, I guess. As long as the lady remembers to send me a picture of it, it'll be fine anyway. Alright, Captain Solano, where did you go? Oh, you're in talking to the Queen, aren't you?
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Oh, hello, I gotta do that myself. Sorry.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Yeah, it would be really nice to figure out why we can't leave. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with whatever it is they found in the mines.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
I was gonna say, it's not really a problem as long as we have impulse power, right?
We need to know more.
Otherwise, it'll be an extended stay in the Hotari system.
Well, couldn't we slowboat it out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Oh, please tell me I get to go flying. The scientific method. I don't know why, but that always looks like it says the U.S.S. Recluse to me.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Okay, W to fly forward, D to fly backwards, mouse to turn, Q and E to go up and down. Gotcha. Storm's gonna push me around, stay focused to maintain my course. Okay, is there a page 2? No, apparently there's no page 2. So I have to, okay, hold on. Oh, okay, that's gonna take me a little bit of getting used to. So just stay in the corridor. Okay, up, and D to strafe, yeah, we know.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Okay, does it not keep constantly doing things?
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Oh, okay, you know what, you fool, you forgot the mouse steering. Yeah, we'll be fine. Oh shoot, I forgot to do the choice. I don't take it personally, I guess. Sorry, I was focusing on flying.
I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part. Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
The ship's new first officer is actually quite a nice lady. So be nice.
This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Well, why don't we just go put them all out and then redo the simulation? I mean, it's just a thought.
Problem? Don't get me wrong. Things are definitely trending up with Commander Rydek. She's put my ideas into action. And she listened to me when your life was on the line out on the hull.
That sounds like a good thing.
It is. But I'm still trying to figure out if she's right for the job. She didn't go through what the rest of us did. Still got chosen to be #1. Can't tell if she was actually siding with me, or if we just fell on the same side.
You know what? Don't hold it against her.
Yeah, but she's lucky she didn't go through what we did. You can't hold it against her.
Actually, I think I can, even if I shouldn't.
Okay, I cannot believe, as nice as we were to that dude, he's still a complete asshat.
Mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
You don't.
What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
Dude, you have absolutely no people skills at all.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
You know what? I'm actually kind of happy where I am.
Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I am.
You must be a glutton for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people. Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. On.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
I might be able to save you a little bit of time, my dude, because I have a sneaky feeling it's coming from the, moon. Okay, is that not a peak?
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Okay, which one of you is the moon? I'm gonna guess it's up here.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Baboon
right at
ting.
us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Okay, first, nailed it. Second, I wonder why they're doing it.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's our current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations. line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
And on that perfectly deduced but incredibly dramatic cliffhanger, as always, I have been Digby. I thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Star Trek Resurgence. And yeah, I hope to see you for the next one.